We're here with Ed Munter, writer, director, composer, and performer of The Peaceful Revolution, Journey to Freedom. Thanks for taking the time to speak to us. Pleasure's all mine. Thanks kindly for having me. I understand that this feature is based on an award-winning episodic series. Is that correct? That's right. The 12-part episodic, The Peaceful Revolution, won Best Series in the Global Film Festival Awards last year. It's a musical commentary that explores the issues we're facing today as we look for positive pathways for moving forward. The format of the series is very unique. It's not a typical documentary and it's not a traditional musical. How would you describe it? Yeah, it's definitely a non-traditional format. It's a mix of commentary, spoken word, and songs set against the backdrop of the great wide open. It's a vision quest down the back roads of our cultural landscape as we track down positive social change. Both the episodic version and the feature use this non-traditional form. Much of the social commentary is expressed through spoken word and song. Why did you choose to use music and poetry as the medium of expression? You might say it's a calculated alchemy. Commentary can present ideas, but ideas alone are limited. Poetic, spoken word can produce visions in the mind, and music can touch the heart. Now, hopefully all these elements work together to inspire something within us. That's where the seeds of change take root. And what was it that made you decide to turn the episodic into a feature? I don't recollect there ever was a decision to turn the episodic into a feature. I mean, from the beginning, the series has been unfolding like a journey in search of something. And as the episodic grew up, it's as if the series birthed its own offspring. And then this offspring expanded on the exploration by coming up with its own answers to the questions we had been asking. And how is the feature different than the episodic? Well, I reckon they both tell the same story from different perspectives. The episodic shows us pieces of a vision, bending in an arc, revealing a progression of ideas. And the feature, on the other hand, pulls back to show us the big picture. Truth be told, when we started the episodic, we weren't quite sure how all the pieces would fit together. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes a project shows you what it wants to be. Sometimes I would write a song before I had learned what the song was trying to teach me. And sometimes the events of the world would dictate the next episode. And during this process, the political climate and the social climate began to change, and those changes influenced the perspective. As the perspective started to widen, we began to see a different conclusion coming into form. So the episodic is a document of our journey, and the feature is a document of our discoveries. And what is one thing that you would like people to take away from The Peaceful Revolution, Journey to Freedom? Well, I'd like to think that the takeaway would be uniquely different to each individual based on their participation in the journey. My personal takeaway is that social change doesn't begin in the world. It begins in each and every one of us. And it's up to each of us to bring that change into the world. Social change starts from the inside out. It's about us working together to create a heart-centered world. That's a great perspective. It's like social change is not only within our power to create, it's actually our responsibility. Yep, that's about right. You know, most of what we're seeking to find is only a heartbeat away. Yes. Thanks so much again for speaking with us. Watch for The Peaceful Revolution, Journey to Freedom, coming soon.